I'm going to show you how to create a badge logo design using text around a circle in Adobe Illustrator. We will use Shapes, Typography, and Illustrator's Type on a Path tool. Step 1 is to build the shape of this logo. So for a badge logo, you could use a simple circle shape for the outer edge. I have chosen to use this badge shape. Let me show you how to create that. Go to your Shape Tools and choose the Star tool. You can draw a star, but you can make changes to this star. There's a little up and down graphic here on the bounding box. If you increase or decrease this by dragging it, it adds more points to your star. So in this case, we want a bunch of points. And we also need this to not look so pointy. So you can change where the points appear by clicking into this little white circle, clicking and dragging this in and out. It also appears here. Let's maybe add a few more points. I'm going to increase the size just a little bit. Now we need an inner shape. We need a circle to hold this graphic. So let's go back to our shape tools in the left toolbar. Let's choose Ellipse tool. And I'm going to hold down Option Shift. I'm going to draw a perfect circle. And let's add a white fill. So I'm going to double click in the toolbar in the fill area, and in this color picker, just going to drag it to white. Click OK. I forgot to mention earlier, you also want to colorize this icon. You can choose any color you want, or you can select your shape, use the eyedropper tool that's in your toolbar, and we can select the color of this logo. And now we need to make sure these two are aligned. So I'm going to select both, go up to Window, Align, make sure both of your shapes are selected, and I'm just going to click this horizontal center line and the vertical center line. So now that everything is aligned, we're going to add this little graphic in here. I downloaded this graphic from the Noun Project. This is an SVG. The Noun Project is a great place to get free icons, by the way. So I'm just going to select all of my vector graphic in this file, and let's paste it over into our design. Now I'm going to hold down Shift and increase the size of this graphic, place it in the center. And I want this to feel visually centered, so you might need to just move it around. I want to make sure this graphic all stays together so I can easily colorize it. So I'm going to right click and say Group. And we can add color by selecting the graphic using that eyedropper tool. And I'm just going to select this blue color over here to colorize the graphic. You could also go into your color swatch and choose a different color if you'd like. And by the way, I put together a free workbook that follows my exact design process, so you can grab it in the description below to create a logo for yourself. Okay, next, let's add the text around this circle. So I'm going to go ahead and use this base circle to type on a path. I'm going to go Command C to copy this circle, go to Edit, Paste in Place. That takes that exact circle and copies it right on top. Instead of a white fill, let's change it to a white outline. I'm going to hold down Option Shift and just increase the size of that circle just a little bit, because this is where we want our text. We want it perfectly aligned with the circle in the middle, but we want it a little bit above. Okay, so to type on a path, let's go up to our Type tool. It's on the left toolbar. And if you click and hold, you get some different options. There is Type on a Path tool. So we're going to select that. We need to hover over this circle and just click into it. You can see it automatically added some text around this circle. So now I'm going to use my character panel to adjust this copy. So go up to Window, Type, Character, and we need to do a few things. We need to choose a different font, and we need to increase the size of this font. I'm going to use Helvetica Bold. You can choose any sans serif font for this exercise. And let's go ahead and type the words. We're going to start with the word Knox. Let's increase the size quite a bit. We need to change this. Instead of black fill, we need a white fill. So I'm going to double click into my fill over here and just choose white. And you can see the position and the space between the letters is a little bit different. Let's track this text out. I'm going to use this tool right here in my character panel to track the text out. And to adjust where this text starts, I want this to be nice and centered on the top. There's some blue lines around this shape that you can use to click and drag and adjust where this text starts. So I'm just going to click and drag that text so it's nice and centered at the top. Next, we need marathon. So what we're going to do is go Command C to copy and then paste in place. So we're essentially copying and pasting knocks right on top of each other. I'm next going to use these little blue lines that I mentioned, and I'm just going to drag one of them. You sometimes have to play with it a little bit, but if you drag one of them inside the circle, it flips the text inside the circle, and then you can move that around to change the position. So I've now flipped it on the inside of the circle, and it's reading correctly. It needs to be further down though. So I can use this tool right here. It's called the baseline shift tool. And I'm going to go negative on the baseline shift to move my text down on this baseline, essentially. Let's type in the words we want. Marathon. We're going to change the tracking of the letters again, just to match the knocks. So I'm going to start with the -100. Might need to go a little bit further down. I'm noticing some of the letters are kind of oddly spaced. So we can use this kerning option. It's on auto right now. I like to use optical for text. It just does a better job with deciding how close letters should be. We need to also center this. So I'm going to just grab those little blue lines that I see around my shape and pull it around. The last step that I need to do is I have these little lines that are kind of helping visually connect the words. And I'm simply going to use this circle that I already have for this. So I'm going to copy that circle that's in the middle, and same thing, paste in place again. Let's switch this from a white fill to a white outline just by going to my tools and flipping the fill to an outline, and then increasing the size of my circle so it's nice and centered on these letters. I want the width of this line to be similar to the width of these little dashes in my graphic and the line work in the graphic. So that feels close, maybe one more point up, and I can adjust my stroke up here or in your properties panel, or you can go to Window, Stroke to adjust your stroke weight. And now we need to get rid of part of this circle. So with it selected, I'm going to go over to my pen tool. Under the pen tool, if you click and hold it, go to Add Anchor Point tool. And I'm just going to add some points here. I'm going to add one here, here, maybe here, and here. And then we're simply going to use our direct selection tool next and delete the extra points in the circle. So I'm going to select the top and the bottom points of the circle. So now we're just left with these lines. And if you'll notice on these graphics here, I have these nice rounded corners on my lines. So in my stroke panel, I can choose rounded corners to mimic that look. So at this point, I could go in and do some additional adjusting, maybe the space between the letters, like that T and that H is still pretty close together. I could put my cursor between these two letters and actually go up here to the kerning between two characters tool and increase the space between certain letters. And maybe there's a few letters that are too far apart, so you could also reduce the space between a few letters. So in logo design, that's definitely something you want to watch out for. Don't just assume that the font you're using has good spacing. Some do and some just don't. And we usually will need to customize the spacing just a little bit. You might want to double check that the alignment of all of your elements is correct. So you could go and hold down Shift to select all these circles and your outer shape, and use the Align tool just to check that everything's center aligned. Visually, does everything feel balanced? Like, does this outer shape need to get just a little smaller? So this logo is ready to go. I'm actually going to draw another artboard on the side to do a quick export. So under Document Setup, I'm going to say Edit Artboards, and I'm going to draw an artboard. I can see this is about 800 pixels wide. So that should be plenty big for our logo. If you want a specific size for your artboard and for your export, you can type that in here. I'm actually going to type in 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels just to make sure this is nice and uniform. And exporting at a pretty large size for logos is typically a good idea. Okay, so I'm actually gonna just hold down Option and copy this to the right. There's a few last things you have to do before you export. The fonts here are still just live text, and we need to create outlines. And we do that because if someone else were to open this logo file and they did not have the same fonts as you, the fonts would get replaced with different fonts. I'm going to select the whole logo and go up to Type, Create Outlines. And that creates complete vector shapes out of this type. Another thing we want to do is make sure these lines are converted to outlines. I'm going to select the logo again and go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. We want to outline the stroke because if we don't, if you resize this, the stroke weight will stay the same and it won't look correct when it's scaled. Okay, and we're now going to just scale this up to fill this space and just center it in this artboard. This is artboard 2. So if I was exporting this for a client, for instance, I would want to go to File, Export, Export As. And we would probably want to export this in a few different file types, such as PNG, JPEG, and SVG. We want an SVG because that's a scalable vector graphic. That means you could scale this logo infinitely and it will not lose quality. I'm going to jump right to the SVG. Make sure we are choosing the right artboard, and we want to say artboard 2. Rename our file to Knox Marathon Logo and click Export. We can also do an export of a PNG, which has a transparent background. So let's rename this, choose PNG. Make sure we have the right artboard selected and click Export. We want a high quality PNG, so we're going to use that high quality resolution, click OK. And I always like to use a JPEG in my client exports as well. So let's also export a JPEG quickly and just make sure everything's high quality. And we are not worrying about color models right now in this tutorial, but RGB will work for the web. So click OK. And now if I go check all those files we just exported, here they are. And this is the PNG with the transparent background. Check out this other badge logo tutorial right here. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and leave a comment below, and subscribe to Cry Studio for more design tutorials. Thanks so much.